Hello everyone, my name is Yusuf, and in this video I'm going to make a tutorial about object-oriented programming in Python programming. Okay, I made a little drawing tool with object-oriented programming with classes. Object-oriented programming. It has three classes, circle, polygon and line. So these classes are providing us to create objects, and in program we have import statements here, we have constants here, we have just one global variable. So this program is highly object oriented, I could say, because global variables are not good. In here we have utility functions just for using in program, and in here we have our classes. We have circle class. Let's look at it. We have a constructor init function in here. Init function let us create our objects with these parameters, and you can also assign default values to your parameters like this. For example, position is a list in my program, x and y coordinates, and if you didn't give this parameter, position parameter, and it will assign 0 0 to position, and I'm not going to use it in here. And every method in class, the functions are called method in classes also. This was in quiz yet. And every method have self variable. This self represents our own object, which is not created yet, but it is representing something which is not created. And we are going to create our circle in here. We are taking our object list and we are deselecting all the object. I will tell about them, and we are creating our object. This C is self in here, so it could be hard to understand, but it's very easy. Classes are like a template to fill, like a template to fill. We are filling our template with our constructor, our parameters, and our object. So we filled our object in here. Add circle method. Add circle. How can I add circle? In here we have frame.add button. We have a button which called circle. This will add a circle to our program. So let's just run it and make it more concrete. I am adding a circle. So we have a circle, it's blinking on the eyes. So let's look at it, why it is blinking. In draw method we are updating our object. Our object is C in here, and if our object is selected, we are giving random color with this function. This function just makes random color. Just don't care about it. You can look at the codes later. If this object is not selected, we will give its own line color to it. So this means this object is selected, and now it's not selected. It has red color and it's fixed. By the way, we didn't look our draw function, but don't need to look even because it's that simple. We are just drawing objects in our global list. That's all. So let's turn to our circle on the bad fly. So that's why it is blinking. So let's blink it, and if I press down button or left right, it's moving. What a nice. And how it's going to be happen? First of all, let's look at our key down handler. Key down handler just gets the current pressed key, and this little function, very little function, I will show it, gets the selected object. Global variable, we have a selected object, local variable, which created with null or none. This means nothing. To represent nothing, every programming language have something called null or none, like this. We are selecting our object, we are finding the selected object in here, and we are returning it here. So we have our selected object. If it is not none or null, we are giving velocity according to the key map. You can look at it later. Let's run it again. I close it. You can deselect or you can select it again. Let's move it. If it is not selected, I'm pressing but it's not moving. That's nice. Let's add a polygon in here. We have selected polygon, which is a square in this situation. Nice. Let's deselect it and let's add a line. We can move it. The power of object-oriented programming is this: you can do multiple things and you can behave them as they defined previously. If you didn't use object-oriented programming to draw such like picture, you will spend many minutes, many hours, I don't know. But in here you can even select and move it, and you can do better things, many better things with object-oriented programming. So for example, I can select the point in here. I select point and the line together, and I can drag it and it will come with me. What a nice. You can do it, you can do this with normal programming also, but you can't do this kind of multiple things together, and this is kind of power of object-oriented programming. And okay, I deselected. Let's look at how we are selecting our point. I just want to show the logic. Okay, we are selecting with mouse click, check click event. Every object in object list have a check click event function. Nice. Let's close circle and open line. Check click, check drag, check click. In here is line selected. We have utility function is line selected. This will return a boolean from our point list, from our line object, and the position from parameter. We are changing selection. Change selection, what it does, it is just change the isSelect property. If it is true, this will make it false. If it is false, this will make it true. And we in check click event we are assigning -1 to selected point property, which is here selected point property in our constructor, and we are assigning -1 to selected index also -1. Selected point will keep the position of the selected point, and selected index will keep the index of the selected index. This same thing is also in polygon function, so that we have a selected index. And by the way, you can add points also to this polygon, and you can change the selected point position like this. I didn't add this functionality, adding point to our polygon, but it will be added easily. By the way, selecting polygon is just little hard. It will take the greatest and minimal x and y coordinates. So when I click here, it will select our polygon. But in point selection method, it's not like this. When you click point, it will select it. Let me show them also. Is point selected? This is very basic. Distance, if distance less equals line width, this means point selected. We are giving the coordinates, and distance function will return the distance between 2 points. And is line selected? Also little long, point list 0, point list 1, p1, p2, and y equals mx plus 1, mx plus n. We are using this formula, we are applying here, and whatever, it's just select the line if you click on it. And is polygon select? If you click on polygons area, but as I said, it's just not working quite well. It will select and deselect. This is the polygons area. Okay, and that's all what I'm going to say, and thank you for your listenings.